Milgram is my investment banker. And if I find that guy, I haven't made a penny yet. Oh, wait a minute. No.
Okay, do you know who Stanley Milgram is?
Nope.
No?
I do not. Should I know?
The what?
Stanley Milgram? Yeah, do you know who he is?
I guess we're too old for that. Was he born? What year was he born? 1900?
Oh wait, where they had like the guy in the suit telling him to continually.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know about the experiment. I didn't know.
What do you know about it?
Well, I mean, basically, it showed that if an authority figure tells you to do something, you'll do it.
Yay!
Sparky. Sparky Milgram? Is that what you mean?
Yeah, it's Stanley Milgram?
Sparky. No, come Sparky.
Oh, okay.
You know,
yeah.
I mean, with the chocks and stuff? Holy mackerel.
Is that the shock one, right?
Yeah.
Yes? Okay. Then yes.
Pressing
the wrong one
for your We're a total flop on this.
Yeah, he forced people to continue to shock people that were like screaming and being like, hey, I got heart conditions, don't shock me.
Stanley Milgram.
No.
No. I have never heard of him, no, at all.
Okay.
He barbecued 15 rats before we finally got those things adjusted. Kicked him out of APA. Sad, very sad. He got kicked out. I don't know whatever happened to him. Is that what you mean?
Yeah. Okay, give me a minute.
This is psychology.
It is psychology.
Yeah.
Stanley Milgram? Milgram, duh, he invented the milligram.
Wait.
Did you write comic books?
Those old rats aren't bad to eat. I tell you, we had to use rabbits. That would have been even better. Could have barbecued those guys.
Stanley Milgram was born August 15, 1933, in the Bronx in New York City. His parents were immigrants from Eastern Europe and opened up a bakery in their town. From an early age, Milgram was always interested in why people did what others told them to do. He completed high school in 3 years and went on to Queens College, where he studied political science. After learning of a social relations PhD program at Harvard University, he applied and was rejected because he had not taken any psychology courses during his undergraduate education. Upon completion of several classes in the field, he was accepted into the program, which focused on social psychology, sociology, anthropology, and clinical psychology. He worked alongside his advisor, Solomon Asch, on the study of conformity. The time he spent doing his professor's research clearly had an effect on his most famous work. After completing his dissertation on conformity, he went on to work as an assistant professor at Yale.
As a result of his previous experiences, Milgram had a strong interest in studying why people do what others tell them to do. Shortly after he began working at Yale in 1961, he started his obedience experiments. These experiments followed a particular template. Participants were informed that the experiment they would be a part of was about the effects of punishment on learning. The experiment involved 3 people, 2 hired actors and 1 participant. The participant administered the shocks and was labeled as the teacher. The person receiving the shock, a Confederate, was labeled as the learner. The third party was also an actor who played the role of the experimenter and dressed in a white lab coat. Before the experiment began, the teacher watched the learner get strapped into place in preparation for the administration of shocks and experienced a 45-volt test shock so they could know that the learner was truly experiencing the shocks. The participant was instructed to teach a list of word pairs to the learner and later test them on their memory of the pairs. If the learner did not select the correct word or if they did not answer at all, they would be shocked by the teacher. They are advised to continue administering shocks until the end of the experiment. Each time the learner answered incorrectly, the shock would get increasingly more severe. The highest shocks implied severe injury or death. Milgram found that at least 63% of participants continued administering shocks until the end, despite the cries and apparent pain of the learner. Several configurations of the same situation were included in his experiments. Sometimes the learner and teacher would be in 2 different rooms, and other times they were in the same room.
Nice one. Tame. Wolf, bear, dog, cat. Wrong. Answer is bear. 240 volts. Next one. Sweet. Nice.
No, you go back up to the beginning of that page and go through it again until he's learned them all correctly.
Oh, no. No, I'm not going to kill that man. You mean I got to keep going up with the scale? No, sir. He's hollering in there. I'm not going to give him 450 volts.
The experiment requires that you
I know
continue.
it does, but that man is hollering in there, sir.
As I said before, although the shocks may be painful,
Yeah,
they're not
but I
dangerous.
mean, he's yelling in there.
Start with blue, please, at the top of the page. Continue, please, teacher.
This experiment showed that people will do anything they are directed to by someone who appears to be an authority. It is human nature to trust in your authority and follow orders perhaps without question. It is important to the field of psychology because it shows how easily influenced people are.
His experiments were highly controversial. He was criticized for putting his participants in highly stressful environments and was even compared to the types of harsh authority he was trying to make the population aware of.
The St. Louis Post-Dispatch criticized him for the high stress he put on his participants. Due to the high stress level he was accused of putting participants in, his experiments influenced the APA's addition of ethical guidelines for the treatment of participants and the formation of instructional review boards. His experiments made social psychology and psychology itself a more popular discipline. The small world phenomenon is based on the idea that two random people can be connected by a small number of people that they know. Milgram did not come up with the idea of the small world phenomenon, but he tested this concept. He tested it by giving a folder to a participant whose goal was to deliver the folder to a distant person only through handing it off to acquaintances. This phenomenon is known today as the 6 degrees of separation. Stanley Milgram started his obedience experiments in July 1961. This date is probably not a mere coincidence, considering high-ranking Nazi Adolf Eichmann had just begun his trial. Milgram's study brings up a hard-hitting question. Were all the Nazis evil people, or were they just following orders? Milgram's obedience study is clearly not confined to one time period. Today, we still struggle with authority and the ability to maintain free will in a hierarchical society.
From 1995 until 2004, a scandal known as the strip search prank call scam occurred. Prank calls were made by someone pretending to be a police officer, an obvious authority figure. They prompted managers of fast food restaurants to strip search their female employees and sometimes sexually abuse them. This prank occurred in 30 states and more than 70 known occasions. This is evidence that people are still obedient to authority figures today.
Replications of Milgram's experiment are continued today using less stressful situations for the participants and yield the same results that Milgram found.
Those little rats aren't bad to eat, I'll tell you.